How cool, brothers and sisters. Welcome to AquaBrain TV. On this show, we chat cryptocurrency and the metaverse with Jon Stephan. Coming to us from British Columbia, Canada. You can find Jon at blazingzoomer, all caps, on Instagram, Twitter, and Discord. That's blazingzoomer, all caps, on Instagram, Twitter, and Discord. Jon, it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too, Drew. Really good to see you. It's been a little while.
It has. We kind of like, as you can see, I've changed the set a little bit since
yeah, looks nice.
Well, dude, so you gotta fill me in, man. I'm in the dark ages when it comes to cryptocurrency and especially the metaverse. Now I know the metaverse is something new that's just basically rolled out. So I don't know, where would you like to start?
That's a good question. The metaverse is a fairly new kind of idea, I guess, for a lot of people, but I think for the people that are involved in the whole crypto space and that it's not that new of an idea. But it's exciting. It's exciting. There's a lot of room in the space for everybody to just expand on what it is they do every day. I mean, you can take that into the metaverse, right? So, and there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of, at this point, I feel it's like what we all expected from the internet. You know, we all it was the Wild West for a while. You could see and find anything that your heart desired on the internet. And as time passes, we see how it's becoming more and more censored and more you can't find what you were looking for, or you're finding just misinformation on it.
Yeah, it seems very scrubbed now.
Yeah, and that has a lot to do with the centralization of everything, right? Certain people hold all the power, and that's what we're just left with, what they want us to know, or what they want us to earn, or what they, you know what I mean? So I find, for me, the metaverse is I mean, it's really just a way to explain them. That's just another word for internet, really. In my mind, metaverse is just another way to say internet. And
so Facebook and Zuckerberg, they kind of co-opted Meta. Is that kind of what the idea is?
I mean, they're just trying. He's just trying to like capitalize on what's hot, right? And obviously, metaverse is the catchword that everyone's using. So he's in there, and it's not just him, right? Everyone's jumping, because I follow it. I'm seeing big corporations jumping into this, right?
Wow.
Big one the other day was Adidas, right?
Okay.
They've just teamed up with some pretty big crypto names. So yeah, I mean, everyone's jumping in, and now's the time to get in before,
all right. So
everyone's been saying that, you've always heard that, get in now, but really you're still early if you get in now.
So how did the crypto, how did it start?
For me, or for,
well, I mean, for you, general? But do you know what the general history is?
I am not big on not that I'm not big on the history, interested in it. I just don't really know it a lot, because I am pretty new to the space. This is only something I've been involved with since, I'll say, April or May of this year.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, it's very new for me, very new. I've had people telling me for years, buy some Bitcoin, buy some of this, and I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Right. So how did you get into it?
My buddy basically just called me up and said, hey man, like there's a lot of opportunity here. You should get involved. This is what I'm doing. My friend was big into poker. He had a brain injury years ago, which put him in a place where he couldn't really do a lot. So he just picked up poker, and that was his thing, right? He did the poker thing. He moved to Vegas.
Wow.
And he lived in Vegas and just like did the, full on going to the casinos, living in the casinos, grinding it out all the time, right? Heavy stuff. But I think through that, he learned a lot about finances and how it comes and goes really quick. And if you don't take chances, you could lose out on a lot of, big things. It's one of the things he said to me a few times where I'm like, oh, should I pull the trigger? do I buy? And he's like, man, if you never push your pile into the middle of the table, you'll never know.
Ah, yeah.
You know, and I'm not a gambler. So for me, it's like, it's a hard, like, it's just strings pulling both directions, but he's
Right.
always the one like, no, just go for it. Just try it. Like, what's the worst that happens? You lose it.
So what was the first
Just
thing
don't.
you bought?
First
bought
thing I
into?
bought was the first thing I bought, because I was told, and again, let's just put this out there. I know I just watched your show with Andrea, and we're not giving advice to people. We're not trying.
Yep.
This is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. I don't know shit.
Right. And I know
all
even
I
less.
know, all I know is my own personal experiences.
Right.
Yeah,
and that's what we're talking about here. I mean, we're talking about what John knows about this
so
space.
The first, I don't remember 100%. The first thing I bought was Bitcoin. I think that's probably for most people, that's one of their first purchases, you know, and I just got on an app. My same buddy said, look, like, you want to have money in the future? He said, maybe instead of putting money into a savings account that gets no interest, you know, every paycheck, he's like, put a little bit out of every paycheck into Bitcoin. Buy $50 worth of Bitcoin every paycheck. And I was like, okay, sure. Why? What can I lose? It's only $50. You know, $50 is, I mean, it used to be a quarter bag of dope, right? So,
hey, in Canada, I mean, I don't know. That's
no big
seems
deal.
$10 too expensive to me. But what do I know?
Either way, it's just, you know, it was a small fraction of money coming out of my paycheck. And he's right. Money that goes into the savings account collects zero interest. You get nothing, right? The bank plays with your money, does all kinds of stuff, makes billions of dollars off your money, my money, everyone else's money, but gives you nothing in return. Poor service is what they give you.
Yeah.
So
yes,
you know, you move that into the crypto world, and now you're starting to see gains. You hear people talk about it all the time. Oh my God, this guy made billions of dollars in the crypto world off of nothing. So yeah, Bitcoin. I started buying $50 worth of Bitcoin every 2 weeks, right? Every time I got a paycheck, I had $50 worth of Bitcoin, $50 worth of Bitcoin, $50 worth of Bitcoin. Of course, when he told me about this, Bitcoin was at its all-time high.
Yeah.
So I'm buying $50 every 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden it crashes. You know, a few months back it crashed, and I'm like, man, everything I put in there is worth half of what.
All right.
I'm like, that's not a good savings account at all. So whatever, you know, time goes on, buddy, you know, he calls me up again.
You got it in your wallet.
It's still there. I'm not selling it. It's
right.
Still there. The only way you lose money in this, just like the stock market, is if you actually sell those stocks while they're down low.
Right.
It's not what you want to do. You want to buy when it's down low, sell when it's high. So anyway, long story short, he calls me again, says, hey, you should buy this. And I said, okay, sure, no problem. How do I do that? Because I still knew nothing. I was just using, you know, like Binance. You know, most people have heard of Binance at this point. I'm just using this Binance app to purchase this little bit of Bitcoin. So then he says, yeah, you need to buy this, but you can't buy it through Binance. You need to set up a MetaMask wallet, and then you need to go to Uniswap, and then you need, and I'm like, whoa. Already I am so lost. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Zero. I have zero idea of what you're talking about right now. And he's like, all right, no problem. Share your screen. This is where the share your screen comes in that I was talking about earlier. So I share my screen with him. He just walks me through step by step. All right, set you up with a MetaMask account, which is your virtual bank account. Basically, it's your wallet, right? So set this up. And then he says, all right, now purchase this. Okay, now go to this website and swap it to this. And it's just, you know, there's a lot going on.
Whoa.
And I'm not writing things down. I'm just like, okay, click, 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 click. And then I'm looking and like, hey, it's trying to charge me $200 for a $600 transaction. He's like, yeah, it's fine. Just hit okay. I'm like, what? Okay, click okay. Boom, $200 transaction on a $600 or $200 fee. You'll hear about gas fees.
Yeah.
$200 gas fee on a transaction was only $600. That is That's unbelievable. That right away, I was like, I don't want to have anything to do with this stuff. That's stupid.
I want to be that guy that's making that.
Right. I'll be the guy that just takes the $200 transaction fee every time. Right. So anyway, sure. I click OK. Within 2 days, gone. It's not gone, but that coin that I just bought is worth nothing. Like it was already worth nothing, and now it's worth less than nothing.
And you just gave somebody $200.
And these gas fees just
wow,
it's
man.
Just gone.
It's gas. It's okay.
It's gas. It's just like in your truck. You go to the gas station, you put it in. 2 days later, you're back there doing it again. And someone's just doing this.
Yeah.
So again, and I can explain the gas fee too. The gas fee, very minimalistic, is basically you're being charged by a ring of people who are, it's always a different ring too. It's not like it's like, you know, this one ring of people that gets to control everything. It's basically a ring of people, and it's a ring of people's computers.
Oh, gotcha.
That are solving really complicated problems. And those problems are basically the blockchain's language, right? So all these computers working together to solve these issues, and that costs money. It costs power, it costs time, right? So that's where the gas fees go. When there's all kinds of trading going on, like during the day, and like everything's going nuts, those gas fees are unbelievable. You know, middle of the night, they start going down depending on time zones and stuff. But those gas fees are crazy. But they do go to something. It is people, like when you hear of people who are mining, right? Bitcoin miners, Ethereum miners, these kind of people, that's where that money's going. That's how they're getting their money, through those transaction fees. All right, where were we?
John, all right,
gas fees. Yeah. So
it's computers. It's computers working. Is kind of essentially what you were saying, right?
It's like putting fuel in the computers that are solving all these problems to make the transactions happen. I guess is a way to look at it. Either way, certain blockchains have less fees. Ethereum is the killer. Ethereum is the wallet killer that's taking everyone's fees. Whenever you hear about people paying huge fees in the crypto world, it's always Ethereum.
And is that very profitable then? Is it more profitable?
Ethereum, Ethereum's the second biggest cryptocurrency behind Bitcoin.
Okay.
And once you get into it, you start realizing almost, I wouldn't say everything, but so much of what's going on in the blockchain world right now is all relates to Ethereum. Everyone uses Ethereum, even though it's the one that costs the most, and that's what everyone's using. That's what all of these other tokens you hear about that are like shit coins, right?
Yeah,
those are, dollar stocks or penny stocks, basically, is what those shit coins are. But it's all based on Ethereum, all of those little things. Bitcoin's not Ethereum. There's lots of other ones that aren't, but for the most part, what most people are dealing with, NFTs, you hear people going crazy in the NFT world and all of that. That's all mainly to do with Ethereum. So that's where all the big charges come from.
So when you were explaining that, my eyes started to gloss over. Can you take me way back to like just the baseline? What is a cryptocurrency?
Well, the whole idea of the cryptocurrency is it's decentralized. So no one person or one government can say, you know what, we need more money. We're just going to print more Bitcoins. Not possible. Okay. Impossible. Nobody knows who the person who created Bitcoin even was. Right? There's a name that people say, like Satoshi. He was the guy, but Satoshi could have been a white woman.
And it could have been multiple people
or many people working together. Nobody knows. Nobody. Yeah. I mean, sure, somebody maybe knows somewhere, but nobody knows. And the whole point was it's deflationary instead of inflationary, right? So it just creates more and more and more value as opposed to the opposite.
So right? It seems like the US dollar controlled. Pretty much. Seems like an AI creation.
Sure, it's got code written. There's a code written, right? And that's what controls it all. but there's no way to get into that code to change it because you don't have the key. Basically, the key was thrown away when as soon as Bitcoin was launched, the key was basically thrown away, and the guy or girl or group that created it disappeared off the face of the earth.
Huh.
And
Okay.
since then, think about this. Since then, and I think it was
So is
I want
that
to say 2011, but it might
Yeah.
have been even a little before that. But it's been working on its own with absolutely zero interference for that whole time. And now look what it's worth. One Bitcoin's worth 70 grand or something like that.
So is that the kind of the, so I'm wondering, so you've got this key, right? And
Mhm.
so the American dollar is essentially propped up by our economy, right? Or the promise of our
The promise.
energy, right? The promise of our
Yes.
economy. And you know, some may look at, you know, a website and look at a certain debt clock and think
Right.
we're insolvent. But okay, so the promise of that economy or that energy essentially is what is propping up the US dollar. So is it, so the idea that this key has been thrown away, is that what's propping up
I mean,
Bitcoin essentially?
it definitely helps because people realize, again, it's there's no way for someone to step in and start messing with it and all of a sudden make your Bitcoin worth less. The only way that is possible is the people that own the most of it, right? They can do funny things to adjust the value. They can sell off all of their bit. Like if someone owns billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin and they sell it off, that's going to make a big wave in the market, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, that's going to
Is
affect
that
value.
Do you know what happened recently? Because I'm not aware. But
What with the
because it
the
did
crash?
it did drop, right? Do you know what happened?
I don't know the exact reason behind it. It happens all the time, and apparently, again, I'm really new to finance.
Yeah, I know. We're getting,
because
so this is, we're not giving any advice at all. You're talking,
no,
you're listening to
please
don't take art.
don't take my advice whatsoever. The only advice I would say to take from today in our discussion is try and get into the cryptocurrency, crypto world somehow, right? Put your foot in, test the waters.
Dip your toe, dip your pinky
Dip
toe.
your toe. Dip your toe. Just test. See how it works for you. Especially now, right? Like you just said, the market's low right now. If people were to jump in today, you know, hopefully next week they'd be like, "Oh my God, that was awesome! Look, like in just 1 week, look at all of this." So
I kind of derailed your what your
that's
train
okay.
you were
That's
on
okay.
there.
That's okay. Basically,
because you were talking about they threw away the key.
Yeah.
And then,
well, that's it. No one can control it, but all it's done so far is gain wealth. Sure, it dips every once in a while, but everything does. But it's created money for people who didn't have money. You know, people who had faith that were sitting on their computers and like, this is going to work. I can see how this is going to work because the government can't get their little greedy fingers in there and do anything with it. That being said, a little off topic, kind of. The US government and the Chinese government, from what I understand, are the two biggest holders of Bitcoin. Right? So what does that tell you?
Well, and so I'm wondering also, if you sell your Bitcoin, I would imagine you get taxed on that.
You do. And I think that was a big part of why people were getting into it originally. You know,
is that a capital gains or something?
It is a capital gains thing, sure. Yeah. And it's different depending on where you live. And I know a lot of people got into that's how a lot of people got into it because of its anonymity, whatever the word is.
Sounds
right.
Good.
Because your wallet, let's say we hook you up with a wallet, right?
Anonymity.
Sure.
Anonymity.
If we hook you up with this is why you don't take advice from us.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I was to hook you up with a wallet, you know, we'll set one up, whatever. It's not going to say Drew Strockman on it. It's just not. It's going to say 0x and a whole string of numbers and letters. So nobody knows unless you tell them that that's your wallet.
Gotcha.
Right? It's yours, kind of secretive. You could put anything you want in there, and hopefully no one will ever be able to touch it or see it. That's the idea behind the crypto world, is that it's not centralized, so no one can just reach in and start saying no, we are going to take this or we're going to take that because we feel that we should, which is what happens in the real world.
Right. And see, so my skeptic hat goes on and says they're gonna get in there and they're gonna take it if they want it.
And this is why,
they're pirates.
Yes. Well, and this is why I said US government, Chinese government, biggest holders of Bitcoin.
Which is the best way to control it.
Great way to control it. Not to mention, I wonder how they got a lot of that. Because they keep telling, oh, we are going to be, like China especially, they just crack down. All of a sudden, there's no Bitcoin mining in China, like.
Except for in their Chinese facility.
Except for right here where we're making all of this money.
Exactly. Allegedly, and we don't
allegedly,
know. We don't know
this.
Yeah.
And then same with the US government. And we keep hearing these whispers in the wind going by of, the US government is going to just back out with the US dollar completely and step into a fully crypto US dollar. There already is the USDT, right? US dollar token.
Do you remember? I would like to talk about that because I didn't know about that. I would like to go into what kinds of other, I know the Bitcoin, and you said Ethereum or lithium or.
Wow.
Oh, that went down the wrong tube.
Went down the wrong hole, and that's not even alcohol.
So it just, when you were saying that, I remember hearing about this huge data storage facility in Utah that they built, and then and the fact back then, it was like it was Alex Jones talking about, oh, they're storing all this stuff and we're all going to end up in coffins and stuff. Maybe they're mining. Maybe.
Who knows? Who knows? I've heard all these stories of so when China cracked down and shut down all these big Bitcoin factories or mining facilities, there's place like the US, I'm sure, was one of them. I know in Canada that we were like, oh yeah, bring it here. Oh. We got all these old weed growing facilities that failed miserably because the government totally screwed it.
Really?
And so these people that spent millions of dollars on these huge weed facilities have lost the shirts off their back, and now they're like, oh shit, we got all this space. Bring in these Bitcoin rigs, bring in these Ethereum rigs. Set up this whole place to just mine Ethereum, and now they're making fortunes.
Do you think that's because you think they failed because of legalization laws in the States?
Well, no, I mean, it's hard for me to say about the States and Canada and the difference.
Sure.
Besides what I've seen myself.
Theories.
And what I've seen is that in the States, like when I came down to Washington, when I went into Colorado, Oregon, California, wherever.
Everywhere but where I live, Utah.
Wherever,
I mean, Idaho.
Everywhere but Idaho. I can go into a store. I can not only buy weed, but I can see the weed that I'm going to buy. A lot of the times I can smell the weed I'm going to buy. Right. And they kind of it was still kind of wild, wild west. There's still lots of mom and pops out there growing dope and taking it to these places to sell. Right.
Yeah. But the need for beasters went way down. That's what we used to call it back in the day when I was involved in such things, but not anymore. Right.
Yes.
Again, I live in Idaho and I don't partake. So,
sure.
but
anyway, here in
yeah.
Canada, they made so many laws about it and surrounding it that it was nobody could compete. You had to be a huge corporation in order to be, able to grow and sell to these legal stores.
Oh yeah,
and
true.
Then, and that just, and then it was okay, the date, let's say the date was October 1st, 2017 or something, when they allowed it to be legal, or whatever date it was. But they didn't allow people to get ready for that date.
Oh, got you.
On that
They would
date,
bust
when
you
we
up until that date.
yes,
basically.
yes. So these huge corporations basically had to stand back, the dicks in their hands, waiting for the government not only to say, yeah, okay, you're good to go, but their own municipalities also had to agree to it.
And then probably had to then they had their own like stipulations, like,
yeah,
you don't have enough ventilation in here.
Yes.
Oh, well, now we
And
got to spend another.
And you're too close to a school, and you're too close to this, or you're too close to that. Sure, understandable. They make all these rules, cool, but it totally blew out the whole market.
So those are now mining facilities.
Not all of them, but I've heard that there's a bunch of them that turned into mining facilities.
Now, talk about mining. What does that entail?
Well, that's what I was talking about with the gas. So mining is, when I first thought of it, when I heard, oh, these computers are solving these crazy problems, I thought there was some guys on their computers like we're doing right now, like, no, try this, no, try this, and they're like back and forth trying to solve issues. That's not it.
No,
it's just a bunch of computers that are all tied together, and they are working together without the people at the keyboards necessarily. Right. They're just working together to solve these super complex problems,
back to the AI,
mathematical problems. Yes. And then once that problem is solved, your transaction has now been approved, basically.
Whoa.
Yeah. So when you make a transaction,
when you say that, that's like, it's still, that's why when I'm like, all right, my eyes just glossed over. Like, I don't understand how, maybe not necessarily how it works, but how it works. Like,
I'm still with you part of the time. Like I'll start talking to people.
So they're solving a problem. What is the problem?
Well, that part I don't really understand either. So from what I get, in order for a transaction to happen and for it to be like safe and secure, so no one can come in and like steal your, not even the funds that are moving back and forth, but just your information.
Okay. That blockchain or whatever that is.
That blockchain is it's just these problems are being, and I don't know again what the problem actually means. I just know it's like a crazy mathematical equation.
Okay.
So you're trying to send me $100, right? You want to send me $100. Let's say you bought a Snowskate, you're sending me $100, $500, whatever it is. When you hit send, that's cheap. Yeah.
Do you have anything for $100?
When you hit send, instead of it just like all of a sudden my account says accepted, it doesn't do that. Yours will say, it's going through the blockchain, it'll momentarily, your transaction should be accepted or whatever. So then you wait and all of a sudden you get a little pop-up on your screen that says, your transaction was accepted. And then you can go on and actually look at a scan of the transactions you've made or anyone. That's kind of the thing. You can follow, if you know someone's wallet number, you can follow all of their transaction history. So that's kind of the idea behind crypto, is that you can completely hide and hide nothing all at the same time.
Okay.
So everything's completely transparent. You just don't know who the faces are behind those numbers.
Gotcha.
Until you do, right? Until someone comes out and says, oh, that's my wallet.
Wait, so, okay. So I buy a Snowskate for $100.
Yeah. Let's go with 500.
And then I send you, are you guys accepting Bitcoin? Are you guys accepting crypto?
I'm going to say yes, because 100%.
Have you talked to Jesse
even if Jesse said, I don't know if we want to accept it, I'd say that's fine. I'll sell a board. Yeah. Fine. I will pay you cash into the Swampton account. Will be cash.
We'll put that in my wallet.
Because to me, at this point, anyone who is unwilling to accept crypto as payment is shooting themselves in the foot. Because that crypto, sure, like you're saying, you're like, I don't know, I'm really hesitant, because tomorrow that $50 or $100 or $500 could be worth $10. It could also be worth $1 million.
Yeah, which is just,
which is crazy.
It's a gamble.
Again, not giving advice
Yeah.
in any way, shape, or form. However, I will tell you some actual numbers from my story, just to give you an idea. So when I first bought into the coin that has winning for me, when I first bought into it, I put $200 into it. $200 in June, at the beginning of June. 2 weeks ago, and I hope the CRA or IRS isn't listening. 2 weeks ago, that $200 was worth 460,000 US. From $200.
This isn't when you're viewing this. This is not when we recorded this, by the way. So this information really is outdated at this point.
Outdated. But again, I will continue with that. So that was 2
Wow.
weeks ago. It was worth nearly $500,000.
And so you took a million out, right? Or you took a couple of 100,000 out, right?
No.
What?
See, this is where I may have messed up, and maybe I haven't. However, 2 weeks ago it was worth almost 500. Now it's like 100.
Man, can you imagine if you would have just taken a couple $100,000 out? Just like,
But if I would have taken that couple $100,000 out, it's now capital gains, and I would have been taxed on it.
Yeah, they'll get you. But for me, they're gonna get
that's
you.
That's not even for me the biggest, like, oh, they got me anyway. The thing for me is, if let's say I took 200 out, I was like, fuck it, I'm taking half. I'm taking 200 out. Hell yeah. I could go buy a house with this.
Yeah.
Maybe not in BC or Washington, but maybe in Idaho, I could go buy a house with that, you know?
Boy, good luck.
Or a couple.
No, good luck, man. Really? Good luck, dude. It's moved.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. My house has doubled in the 4 years that I've owned it.
Hell yeah. Doubled. Good for you, buddy. Good for you.
Well, I'm just saying it's not necessarily a great thing. We have to pay property taxes on that too. Sure. So it's of
course. Yes.
But anyway,
that's where it bites you. Anyway, so if I had taken half of that out, not only would I have been hit with tax, but that's $200K that's not growing anymore.
It's true.
And at the speed that I saw it growing, in my head, I'm thinking millions, not hundreds of thousands. That's small change. I'm thinking, shit, this could really go, because the amount of zeros that were before, the numbers of what it's worth is crazy. Like this coin is worth, there's 8 zeros after the decimal point before it hits any numbers. So it's worth fractions of a penny, fractions of a fractions of fractions of a penny. It's worth so little. But when I bought it, $200 was 18 trillion of those tokens. So you can imagine, if you hold 18 trillion of any stock, any little movement is going to be profound.
Wow.
In your wallet, right?
Which those numbers are like really hard to wrap your head around, right? Yes. What is that? 1,000 billion? Is that right? And a billion is 1,000 million?
I don't even know. I've had this conversation a few times lately where I'm like, man, if that even made it to a penny, I can't imagine what the dollar would be called that I would own. I'd be like quadrillionaire or something.
I know you're getting into like what the US debt is,
right?
With those sorts of trillions of numbers,
right? So, and again, I didn't take any of that out. So
you could sell it and then buy the US.
Either way, I didn't pull anything out. So hopefully I have faith in this token that it's going to do great things. Like there's still all kinds of, it really hasn't done anything yet. That's the funny thing. Although it's gained so much, they haven't actually done anything real world yet. But
which is probably why it dipped back down. Were they thinking of doing something? And then
so they had this huge thing in Vegas, right? They had this launch, they had this new app that you were going to be able to use on your phone that was going to make you able to buy and sell that currency.
Okay.
Just right on your phone with your Visa or your bank card, your debit or Visa. which would have been amazing, right? Like that easy. Because a lot of these things, when you try and buy them, a lot of people are just like, no, because there's so many steps. You know,
So
first you have to go open your account.
Let me stop you there. Let me stop you there because I was just curious about this. So you can, with this app, you can buy it, or essentially that's what they were going to launch, is you can buy the stock, or you can buy the coin, but in order to buy anything like bread or a house, you have to take that money out. You can't just buy with it. So go ahead though.
At this point, you're 100% right. And that's the biggest question I get from most people when I talk about crypto. They're like, yeah, you have a bunch of fake money.
Well,
have you ever pulled it out and used it in real life? I'm like, no, I have not. So you're right. At this point, it's all ones and zeros. And
it seems like the capital gains is kind of this cloud that's hanging over your head, where I might as well keep it in so that it maybe grows, as opposed to pulling it out and then paying a bunch of capital gains on it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I don't know. So, okay. So they were about to launch this app.
They were about to launch this app, this huge thing. They had the MGM Grand rented and all this stuff. And then, like most things that have to do with technology,
they had Lady Gaga. It was crazy.
They had to get on stage and say, unfortunately, we've hit some speed bumps and we're not releasing the app just yet. And the fucking stock just tumbled. And it wasn't just that, though. So do you know who Willie D is? You're a rap fan?
Willie D. I think
from the Ghetto Boys.
Ghetto Boys. Okay, thank you. Yeah,
Ghetto
I was like,
Boys, Ghetto Boys.
Name sounds familiar. He's not the little person.
No, that was Bushwick Bill.
Bushwick. That was Bushwick
Bill. No. So Willie D.
Very
smart guy. Very smart guy, right? So he got involved with this coin, and then some other, lots of big names have started coming in and attaching themselves to this token, which to me, I was like, fuck yeah, that's just more good news that this token's going somewhere. And the day that they were supposed to release this app, or the next day, they also got accepted onto a new exchange, right? Because they were so small that they were only on a couple exchanges. So now they're getting bigger and bigger, and this other exchange says, yeah, we'll put you on our exchange, just give us a whole bunch of money first. So these guys gave them a bunch of money, listed the token on the exchange, and then that exchange themselves released a statement saying that this Willie D from the Ghetto Boys was under investigation by the SEC. They actually put that on their headline thing on their page, and the fucking stock just plummeted. And it was all bullshit. None of it was real. It was just bullshit facts, misinformation.
Damn.
And because it crashed, I imagine they walked in and purchased a ridiculous amount. But then that's all just guessing. This is just me guessing. But just from watching how things work, I'm like, that would make sense.
Yeah, known people and their tendencies and corporations and stuff. So So you talk. So okay,
that's still going to happen. The app is still coming, and on top of that, Floyd Money Mayweather and his money whatever have just signed a big partnership with this token as well.
Wow.
So for me, that guy's about making real money. So I'm like, okay, everything I hear about it is good. Besides watching the graph of it, still going down and down.
Yeah.
I'm still, in my head, it's still good. That's why I'm holding. I haven't sold.
What's it called? Or is it a secret?
It's not a secret. I don't want to give people say, here, go buy this. And then, next week I get all these emails going, you fucker, I spent 10 G.
Well, reach out.
I will tell you.
We'll reach out to John if you want to know. We'll keep it a secret. Let's keep it a secret.
I was going to show you a little bit around a quick video clip of Decentraland as well. And when I show you that, you'll see the token anyway, because. Okay.
Am I able to, is this a copyright written thing, or no? So you're going to share that with us?
If you want to see Decentraland, I can take you through Decentraland quickly.
I'll
explain it before we do that. I'll explain it a little bit first, just so you know it. So this is essentially the same thing that Zuckerberg's trying to do, right? He's making the metaverse.
Yeah.
So, and that's funny to me. We're making a metaverse, and this guy's making a metaverse, and they're making a metaverse. Because to me, when I first got in, I thought the metaverse was like the universe. It's like one.
Yeah.
And we're just joining the metaverse. Like Zuckerberg's just joining the metaverse with his thing. And, you know, and I thought that all of these, basically to me, it's just a game.
Well, I think the autistic
As opposed
kids
to
are gonna
saying
like it.
metaverse,
And
it
there's a
should just be
lot of
called,
artistic people.
oh my God.
Autistic. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
mean,
autistic.
artistic.
Autistic.
I don't know. I
Are
don't.
we talking Picasso or Rain Man here? What are we?
Maybe a Rain Man Picasso. I don't know. I don't know. I think
that's probably pretty ingrained in, you know,
from what I've seen, I think that a certain I don't want to get any sort of strikes or anything,
yes.
but I think it's a certain mental capacity is really going to enjoy what he's putting out there. I think other people are just like I am not, I don't want to say I'm, you know, like paint myself with any sort of brush, but I'm not interested really in any of it. Like if I didn't have, if I didn't have to have a computer to do some of the artistic things that autistic, who knows, maybe a little of both. You know, if I didn't have to have it to do that stuff, like I would really not like to have it.
Wouldn't.
But that's just me. So yeah, let's see what you got.
Okay, so we're sharing, or do I need to push?
Or did I interrupt you? Were you
No. I was basically what I was going to say. To me, like, because people ask all the time about Decentraland, especially, right? Decentraland is this metaverse that I've been involved with for a few months now. And to me, I explain it to people like it's like Seinfeld. There's really no rhyme or reason. There's no storyline. It just is. So you go in there, like I own land in this game. So I have a piece of property that I can do whatever I want with. I build on it. Whatever.
Now, did you pay for that land?
I paid. You better believe I paid.
So did you use this new coin for that, or
yes,
how does?
Yes.
Okay.
So this new coin has paid for everything that I've done in the metaverse or on crypto, because when it first started gaining, I did pull some out and turned it into other coins so that I could, so that I could use it and have it not all just disappear as well.
So if, and I haven't seen this, but if you have strawberries ready to harvest, and then you have a bushel of strawberries show up at your house, that would be cool.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So for me, so right now in this game, I'm part of this group called the Last Slice Collective. And this guy coded a pizza stand in the game. So my avatar, my guy, I can walk up to this pizza stand, order pizza, and no shit, Domino's Pizza will show up at my house with pizza. Yes.
Really?
Paid for on the game in cryptocurrency.
Wow. What if you don't like Domino's?
Well, you're out of luck, because that's all that they're hooked up to right now. But
that's like who they made the deal with.
That's just like kind of like that eye-opening moment for me when I was like, wow, you could do that?
Yeah. So it's similar to my strawberries thing.
Yes.
Right. So it would be hooked to a farm somewhere. Yes. Right. Yes. And wow.
Yes. So for me, my space in the game, I built the Basik Board Shop. So you come into my space in the game, and you can buy POW surfers with cryptocurrency. You can buy there's links to our Swamp and Snowskates website. There's links to a poker game in there. There's all kinds of, like, you just walk in and there's like stuff.
Poker, that's smart. The house always wins.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the idea, right?
Except for at John's poker, or what is it?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't have a poker.
Blazing Zoomer. Blazing Zoomer's poker table. The house never wins.
Never. Just go there and spend
allegedly
money, and all you'll do is gain. all wins. Okay, so I'm going to try and share my screen. Let's see if we can make this work. I think it's just right here. Are you?
Oh, look at that. Yeah,
you can. Okay, cool. So let's go. I'm going to take you right into Decentraland. I think get out of my way. Okay, yeah, so I can jump in right here out of the builder. I was just working on my scene, just updating.
Hey, will you do me a huge favor? Yeah. Do you have a screen record?
I do.
Can you run your screen record tool just in case this?
Yeah, and I
didn't
can
come
send you the
across?
video.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah,
be
sure, sure.
at least the video doesn't end here.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Let's see, how do I do that again? Record. So yeah, we're recording. There you go.
Nice.
I'm gonna close this, get all of this stuff out of the way somehow, maybe. So yeah, so Decentraland, in order to play, if you can play as a guest and just kind of check it out and see how things are going. But generally you sign in with your wallet because everything is linked. And so you can just purchase things directly in game, or you can
Oh, look at you.
given things. So you can see how we're
That's
rolling
that
now.
mustache that you've never been able to quite grow.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Well, keep in mind, it was November up until last week. So I was running a Movember thing event at my spot here. So people would come in, they put on a mustache, take selfies, post it to Twitter, and then I was giving away prizes for that.
No kidding, man. Look at that. The Basik Board Shop.
So this is Decentraland. So you got the Basik Board Shop here, where you
So
can
you had
come in.
to, did you
I
pay
had to
for
build
that
it.
storefront?
No, I built this all. So this is what cryptocurrency has taught me in the
Yeah.
last few months, is not just finance and like how to try and like earn like, you know, stocks and stuff.
Yeah.
What it's really taught me is I got back into computers. Like, I wasn't into computers. I had basically, only thing I was using it for was Facebook and making snowboard videos or snow skate videos, you know.
Yeah.
And when my computer got old and it wasn't even being able to do that stuff properly. So I bought this, you know, I tried this game and my computer couldn't handle it. So I bought a new laptop.
Really?
And then once I got into the game, I realized I wanted to learn how to do all this, like how to make things in it and how to code a little bit and all that. So that's really what all this has taught me is I enjoy working on computers, and I'm learning 3D modeling. I'm learning all kinds of stuff in here now, just because I want to make my space cooler for people.
Yeah, it looks like kind of like the evolution of Minecraft almost, right? So
yeah,
like
so the other game I'm playing is really close to Minecraft. Like,
so a kid that's been into that from this tall is gonna excel in a space like this.
Yes. So here, I'll give you a quick
Well, are you showing videos? You got snow skate videos in there?
Check it out. There's Powser videos in here.
Yes, dude. So sick.
So you can come in, because if you don't know what a pow surfer is, I figured I may as well show a video, right?
Yeah.
And then you turn around here and they've got, so here's 3 pow surfers you could buy.
Oh, okay.
And so they're actually NFTs. I don't know if you've heard what an NFT is, but it's basically a crypto token of in itself. So
yeah, I haven't heard it.
For a sec.
I haven't heard of that.
So I can pause it and I can turn around over here. Yeah, so okay. So let's say you see this, you're like, oh, what's this? You click on one of these and it's going to take you to OpenSea, which is the marketplace that you can buy NFTs, which is this crypto art that everyone's talking about, right?
Okay.
So you click on this, it's going to bring you to OpenSea, which is, again, the marketplace where a lot of people are selling their art or whatever for cryptocurrency. So now you buy this, and it comes
for 0.55.
For 0.55 of an ETH, which right now is $2,400. So it's not just the whole, like, a lot of people are going to look at that and go, wow, that's a lot for a pow surfer. You're right, it is, or for a piece of art. But here's the point of what I'm doing. That piece of art that you get is attached to the physical board that's in the picture. So yeah, you're going to get this piece of art that's, you know, digital piece of art in your wallet or in your gallery, but you also get that board delivered to your house. And I'm making wearables for in the game to go on your avatar. So you'll get a full snowboard outfit and a pow surf on your back in the game.
Oh, sick.
Right?
Wow.
So I'll show you that even. I'm working on that in here. And these are my guy. This is the guy I'm working on. So this is the 3D modeling I'm talking about. There's the pow surfers. Those are going to
Wow.
go on your back. And that's my little guy. It's going to be in game. Where did he go?
So can I suggest that you build a little demo hill or something,
Well,
or like there's gotta be.
we're trying to work out how to do all that. Like anything that these games are so, I don't know how to explain it, but like they're so basic, even though they're so advanced. And the whole idea behind them, like everything else is decentralized, is it's up to the people playing to make it better. So that's
Gotcha.
why they sold parcels. They sold off the whole game, basically the land pieces, and then it's up to the people who buy them to then somehow make their space cool and make people want to come to it and make the game better, right? So again, you can get these cool things from me or whatever. This is what your avatar could look like in the game. I haven't actually launched this part yet. Otherwise, my guy in the game would obviously be wearing this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it. I'm trying to perfect everything.
Probably pretty time consuming, I would
It's
imagine.
very time consuming. But yeah, so then you would buy this NFT, this piece of art. You get the NFT.
You own this
You,
item.
you get the snowboard to your house, the physical
Wow,
snowboard,
man.
and you get that wearable for in the game. And those wearables, think about this, the wearables in the game, they never get old, like what you're wearing right now. You would never throw away a shirt that's in the game.
Yeah.
You could just resell it down the road.
You
Right. So
you got a good opportunity here to potentially expand into other, other things with your shop, and you don't have like, okay, so let me try to complete this thought here. Are you limited to the floor space that you have, or can you
yes,
easily knock down a wall and make it bigger?
no. So I bought a 1x1 size piece of land.
Okay.
Okay. So if I hit map, all of these tiny little squares are pieces of land.
Where are you at? Let's see where. Oh,
Anywhere,
wow. Okay. Oh,
every one of these is a little piece of land. So some of these big ones,
yeah.
someone spent a lot of money and bought all those pieces and turned it into one estate.
Wow.
But right now, okay, so here's another thing. When I YouTubed, I don't know what I was YouTubing, something to do with cryptocurrencies a few months back, and this guy said, "Are you upset that you missed out on the housing market? Well, now's your chance. Get in on the virtual housing market. This stuff's going to be worth the same as housing prices one day." And I laughed. And I went in here and I looked and I was like, "Yeah, fuck it." And I bought one. $1,200 for a piece of land in a game. And I was embarrassed to tell people that that's what I spent. However, I could sell it for 20 grand right now. Easy.
Well, who's going to buy it?
There's people on here all day, every day. How can I buy land? Who's willing to sell me land?
Why is all the land gone?
Yeah, it's all been sold.
Wow.
So because
so if I wanted to buy a
is,
piece of land right now,
yeah,
where
in the game,
where would I
you
go?
would go onto the marketplace. So that same market I showed you with the snowboards, you can type in Decentraland and it will bring you it'll bring you to all kinds of stuff that's for sale to do with Decentraland. Land,
people are
clothing,
selling.
people's names. Like you can buy and sell names, and
Wow.
it's the wild, wild west still, right?
Yeah.
Crypto. Like people are buying and selling whatever they can to try and make money. Like look at the price on some of these. This Decentralander. If you want that name, this guy's charging 1 million mana. And a mana is worth $4 US. So this guy's asking $4 million just for that name.
Oh.
Will he get it? I surely hope not. But who knows?
Okay, so I've got a question.
This kind of money is being spent in the metaverse every day.
Wow.
Like I said, Adidas just decided they're going to work with the Bored Ape Yacht Club and the Crypto Punks, which are two huge, huge, huge NFT collections. Like you can't buy a Bored Ape Yacht Club, which is basically just a hockey card with a digital hockey card with an ape on it. You can't buy one for under 200,000 US. Right? Like it's crazy.
That's cool.
So crazy. But you could have bought one of those for, I don't know, $200, $500 when they first came out.
So let's get out of here. Let's get out of Decentraland. Give me anxiety with a $4 million name.
Where am I going? How do I
Decentralander?
I'm gonna figure
Well,
this
sub
all
three.
out.
Was there anything else you wanted to show me in here? While
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick run around the shop so you can see. So yeah, on the wall here, you can see I'm selling, Snowskate stuff. There's rocker trucks there. There's leashes. There's X grip. There's boots. You can go to our this link will take you right to Swampton's web store, so you can buy any of this stuff with
So
actual regular money.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah. So if in order to buy that basic POW skate or
Yes.
POW surf, you're gonna have to own that currency in order to buy it.
Technically,
or you got to go.
Technically, or you just reach out to me and try and make a deal on the side. That like so this board right here that's on display, this one's actually already sold. It says sold. It says never sold, but it also says sold at the bottom because this board belongs to Adam Cooper. Right? Adam bought this board.
That's it.
He didn't know anything about crypto or anything, so I just sold it to him, cash, like regular, and then I sent him the artwork. Though this is his now. He owns that.
So he never came into your shop.
No,
how many people have been into your shop?
Oh my God, I get more than 1,000 people through my shop every week. There's no way I would get that anywhere else in real life. Yeah,
that's just insane. I don't see anybody else walking around.
The longer I stay here, you'll see people because there's a map here on the top left with little red dots.
Oh yeah.
So people will just look at the map and say, "Oh, there's a lot of red dots there. I wonder what's going on," and then they'll just warp to that spot to find out why there's people there.
And people can buy your outfit.
Yeah, see, there's my outfit for sale right there. That's my art. I made the bird, like the smoking bird.
Yeah.
If you go upstairs, there's.
Oh, look at that! You're flying.
So there's a poker room right up here. There's the
no
link
one's
to
playing
the
poker, dude.
No. And then you go upstairs, and here's like a small bit of a gallery. Like this is all my art. These are the birds that I made for my NFT collection.
That's so sick.
And then so basically in my space, how I keep people here is I've made a puzzle. I've made a puzzle. So you see this thing
really hard to get
glass? You see that big gumball machine looking thing?
I see Mario. Oh yeah, okay,
there's like this gumball machine looking thing. So that's called a POAP dispenser. And a POAP is a proof of attendance protocol.
Okay.
And a proof of attendance protocol. Do I want to stop recording this? I might lose you here. I'm going to try and jump out of here, go back into our chat. Please don't fuck up. Game clip. Okay, we're good. We have the game. There's stop sharing. We're back.
Yeah.
Still see me? Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that big gumball machine, the POAP machine, proof of attendance protocol. Okay. So that thing hands out basically ticket stubs.
Okay.
Right? You were here at this time. That's all it is. It's a little piece of art that I've made that is in that machine, and as people click on it, it now goes into their wallet. They have a little token that says, I was in this spot at this time. I'll show you what my collection looks like, so you see what I mean. And I call it a ticket stub, or maybe it's like a stamp in your passport. But these, you see all those? It's kind of the thing in Decentraland right now, because nothing is like, you don't go on one land and start a game and then be able to go next door and continue that game unless the person owns both those pieces of land.
Okay.
And a lot of the lands people just bought for investment. So there's nothing there. You're just walking around a grassy field through the game. There's nothing around you. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's a huge building. It's very, very weird. Like just all this open space, and then bam, there's something there. And like lots of people are making little games. Some people are making stores. Some people are just using it to show off their art. But basically those little tokens that people are collecting from that gumball machine is one of the bigger things that people do in Decentraland right now. It's like a safari. You try and find all these little tokens hidden around the map, right? And they're only there for a certain amount of time, and there's only so many of them. So in my spot, you have to find a key somewhere in my building. It opens one of the doors. Once you go through that door, the door instantly closes behind you and you're trapped. And now there's a combination thing on the wall, and you have to figure out the combination to get out. And then the trap, once you get the combination, trap door opens and you fall through the floor. And now there's another key, and you need that key to access that gumball machine thing. So you can't get that token you've come to get without doing my puzzle, which is what keeps you in my space for a long time. So like I said, I get over 1,000 people in my space every week.
Wow.
Their average time spent there is 25 minutes.
Because they're trying to find that key.
Yes.
Well, no, because they got stuck. Because they got
or
trapped.
They're stuck. But keep in mind, I've got Snowskate videos playing in the background. So even if they're not watching, like I had Adrian's Reclaimed Rubble playing for so long. So people are just hearing us talk about snow skating and like the industry, whether they're watching it or not, they're hearing it because they're stuck in there, just hearing the cycle.
Wow.
So yeah, and I get
awesome.
and I get so many, like if I hang out in my space, like usually I'm running around the map like everyone else, like finding POAPs or there's music, there's concerts in this game every day. So that video screen I have, you can link it up so it's a live feed, and people do full on DJ sets every day. There's a party going on somewhere in this game.
So can you VR in?
I've heard people are using VR, but it's not set up optimally for VR yet. Next year, that's coming.
Because it's got to try to, I mean, you know that Zuck is gonna throw a bunch of money at his, right? And so you don't want to.
Owns, and they own Oculus, right? That's a Facebook thing.
Oh, it
and
is.
You can't use Oculus if you don't have a Facebook account. So another thing, I would just like to say this too.
Yeah.
I signed off. I mean, you can still find me on Facebook, but I don't use it. So I deleted Facebook off of my phone, all of my devices.
Yeah.
I still have an account because of all the stuff I'm doing and you know, buying and selling boards and whatever. I still need that Facebook account.
Yep. I know.
Unfortunately, to communicate with some people, but I don't log on to Facebook anymore. Unless I need something specifically, I do not log on to Facebook. And I tell you, I haven't been happier in a long time.
So what is the best way that people can contact you?
Depends on what they're trying to contact me about. If you're trying to contact me about boards and that kind of stuff, then you I guess the best way to contact us about buying boards is probably at Samson at swamptonsnowskates.com. Just email us or go on the swamptonsnowskates.com, and there's links there that you can email us and ask anything about boards. This year we already sold out of pretty much everything we had.
Wow.
Right. Like I had to shut the shop down early in the season because I'm selling the house. Right. So that was taking up a lot of space in our house, and there's a lot of clutter around the snow, you know, so we shut it down. Everything's in storage, but we've pretty much sold out of everything we had for this year. I still have a bunch of POW surfs, but the snow skates are pretty much gone. I think we have a couple hammers left. That's about it.
So on that note, then is the new, have you guys found a new place or?
No, I haven't found a new place
shop
yet.
Or
Jesse's looking, we're both looking for new homes. And you know, the goal is to find a home that has a big shop. You know, we're both looking for property that has a big shop. So, you know, springtime comes, we'll be ramping things up again. And I'm going to start actually doing video. Like I'm just going to start doing live streams of us building in the shop. And that's all going to be in the game. Sick. So I'm going to be basically selling our time to people. Like you want to come in and I'll have a VIP room. So you'll have to buy a certain kind of token or one of our articles of clothing to get into that room in there.
Oh, wow.
And then from there, you can just watch us streaming, whatever. You can ask us questions like real time. You know, I think people will enjoy that. You know, it's not going to be super expensive, you know, just like OnlyFans kind of, right?
Right.
You pay whatever, $5-10 a month or something, and you have full access to watching us build and any communication with us that's just like real time right there.
That's cool.
I think it'll be cool. Yeah, I think it'll be cool. There's just so many opportunities in the space right now that like no people aren't doing. And I think one of the biggest things is your service and your time. And now you have the opportunity to kind of charge what you want. And if people don't want to pay it, then they don't. And you deal with the people that do.
So Blazing Zoomer, Blazing Zoomers,
Zoomer.
that's how to get a hold of you in the verse.
That's how to get a hold of me in the anything to do with Metaverse. It's Blazing Zoomer. And now that it's out there, that it's me and I've doxed myself.
Uh-oh.
That's, you know what, I knew from the beginning that there was no way to keep myself anonymous because I wanted to bring Basik Boards and Swampton into the space. I knew there was really no way to remain anonymous, and I don't care. I'm not a dick. I'm not out here like I'm not fucking with people.
You
I'm
only
not,
trap
like,
people in your shop,
right?
and make
And
them force them to watch
frustrated.
Snowskate videos.
Don't get me wrong, they get frustrated. I get some funny messages of people getting so pissed, and I'm like, well, but by the end, they're all happy.
Yeah, because they got their little pin or token or
they got their
trinket.
token, and now they're like, you know what? I was so frustrated, but I'm so happy that I actually got the token because it shows that I had to go through all of that bullshit to get it.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
awesome.
learned this from another guy who's doing it. He does these crazy parkour setups
Oh,
where you got to jump and I am not even going to lie to you. I would say the most I ever spent on one of his parkour sessions just to get that stupid free token was probably 4 hours.
dang, man.
Oh man. I messaged the guy too. I'm like, bro, I haven't been this frustrated since the 90s playing some stupid Nintendo game that I smashed everything in my room. And he was like, yes.
Was the
yes.
token worth it?
Oh yeah. Well, and here's the thing. The tokens, again, they are a piece of cryptocurrency themselves.
Ah, that's true. And they're because
People
they're
are
limited,
buying and
right?
selling them. And people are buying and selling them.
It's kind of like trading bottle caps or whatever.
Sure,
Pogs.
yeah.
Remember
Yeah,
Pogs?
dude.
You want to buy some Pogs?
You think that's funny? We're doing Pogs in the crypto space.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. Anybody who doesn't know what a Pog is, don't worry about it. You're okay.
Yeah, you're not missing out.
So I got some bonus questions for you. You want to do a couple bonus questions?
Sure.
All right. So what is a skill that you want to learn but haven't yet?
Coding.
You know,
like I heard this a couple years ago. This maybe it was Trump or someone was saying like to whoever it was, like an older generation of people that were all losing their jobs due to, I feel like it was like truckers and stuff that were losing or were going to be losing jobs due to automated vehicles or whatever it was, that like people were up in arms, like we're going to lose our jobs. And
now
someone
we can't
was
get
like,
enough.
well, fuck, go learn to code.
Yeah.
And that was like such a spit in the face to so many people. Like from what I understand, like people were so angry. What do you mean go mean to code? My God, go learn to code. There's so much money there. Like, man,
yeah,
it's crazy. That's what I want to learn. I want to learn some coding. It doesn't have to be like,
it seems like you're kind of on your way here with the.
I'm on my way. My way. It would make everything I do here that much cooler. Because you're restricted. You're restricted.
All right. So okay, if you were living in a tribe community, what would you offer the tribe? Now we're going out of the metaverse into the
we're talking real life stuff.
Talking real life.
It's been a while.
I know.
What would I be? I would be probably.
You be the guy trying to get people to buy crypto.
Guys, come collect all these rocks. We're gonna trade them with that other tribe over there. No, I think there's two things I could see myself being. I was gonna say hunter-gatherer, but probably not the hunter so much. I'm not big on hunting.
Yeah.
Although I understand its purpose, I feel like I'm too empathetic of a person to kill animals. Even though I want to eat them, I can't do it. I don't like that.
You want them prepared.
I would probably be a vegetarian in that case, but I would be a gatherer. I could be a gatherer. I could gather all kinds of stuff. And the listener. I'll be the listener. If you guys have problems, just come tell me your problems. I'll listen to them and smile and tell you everything's going to be all right.
That's perfect. All right. What key components would you expect other members of the tribe to contribute? Maybe like the top 3.
The top 3 things that we would need people to contribute. Food. If my gathering isn't working out, we need someone to really gather and hunt, I guess. I think education would be right at the very top. It's one of those things that like, it's an absolute must. No matter what the situation is, we got to have educated people or we're screwed. as a society or as a tiny village, it doesn't matter. Without education, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to learn your crazy math skills, but education. You need to be educated. That's very important.
And number 3.
What's the next most important thing? A healer. You need a healer, some kind of a medicine person, or you need a healer.
I like that. All right.
We need Andrea. We need Andrea in the group.
Yeah. Go watch
I just
that
finished
episode,
watching that.
everybody.
I did. I just watched it. It was really good.
She's an amazing human.
Yeah.
If the system that we're all dependent on, now this is going to hit a little close to home and what we've been talking about, because if the system collapses, the metaverse is gone. Cryptocurrency is gone.
Yeah.
So if the system that we're all dependent on collapses tomorrow, what would be the first thing that you would do?
I'd be screwed.
See how I just like to bring that dark cloud in,
Yeah. So, I assume you're talking about the whole world just kind of.
I mean,
not just North America.
Well, so there's.
Regardless,
no one really challenges me on this question. They just kind of take it as and like they each, which is why I kind of vaguely worded it, because it's like they kind of interpret it how they interpret it, and they but I mean, essentially the system, right? That's our currency, that's our electricity, that's our water, that's our governmental structure, that's our, it's just, it collapses. Now I have a thought that, and this is not a thought that I came up with, but it seems like through observation that it is collapsing. And I think it's going very slowly, or I think it's being kind of like held at a very snail's pace. But I mean, if you look around, you can already see inflationary things kind of catching up in certain areas. You see some of the we were just talking about truckers, but now I can't think of what that's called. Like shipping, infrastructure and all that logistical stuff. That's kind of like having hiccups in certain areas. So anyway, what would be the first thing that you would do if it just collapsed?
Well, considering I don't have a pantry totally jammed full of stuff in case this happens, or water, I would probably start collecting water first. I would go, luckily we have lots of fresh water where we are. I would be collecting fresh water first of all, and trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for food. But then I think what I would do is I would try and, I guess we have no phones, but I would be trying to locate those people that I know that are going to be very useful in the very near future. And we need to go make ourselves a commune or something along those lines where we're going to work together,
have a little powwow and
a
figure
group
it out,
of useful people that are going to, help sustain life for the next to near future.
So I
don't want to be one of those guys. I don't want to be like one of the last survivors. If there's an instance like that and it's like zombie world and we're fighting zombies, now bite me first. I do not want to be battling the zombies for the rest of my life. I'd rather be a zombie eat brains.
So we're gonna end this on a positive note.
There's no harm in getting yourself a MetaMask wallet and putting a couple dollars in there, or even just having a MetaMask wallet, because people can send you stuff. Like I've set up people with wallets. I said, just have it, because one day you might want it. And in the meantime, I can send you stuff. I send free stuff out all the time, free art or whatever I'm working on, because I just want to spread it everywhere. The more people see the name Blazing Zoomer, hopefully it means something someday, right? So, right, like I've told people, open an account, and then next thing you know, you open your account, you check your thing, you're like, whoa, where did I get this stuff from? And it says from Blazing Zoomer. Sent.
It is. And on that note, hey, thank you for coming on the AquaBrain.
Yeah, buddy. It was really good to chat with you.
It's great
I'm
talking.
down anytime to do another chat.
All right.
And if anybody wants help I'm not the guy really to help in the crypto world, but I can help you with the small things. I can help you set up an account, start pointing you in the right directions. Just get a hold of me and I will help anybody that wants help.
All right. Hey, thanks for coming on AquaBrain.
No problem, buddy. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks for joining us on this installment of AquaBrain TV. Check us out at Brain Aqua. This is how you subscribe to us. And this is a video we think you'll like.